There was a young soldier, true story, was condemned to death by Oliver Cromwell in England. This is Oliver Cromwell, for those of you who aren't historians, overthrew the king for a time in England. And this young soldier was being condemned, and he was going to be shot at the ringing of the curfew bell. So his fiancée found out, and she climbed the bell tower and tied herself to the clapper of the giant bell so that it could not ring. So when the bell did not ring, the soldiers went up to investigate and found the girl battered and bleeding and bruised and close to death. She had been bashed against the sides of the bell. And Cromwell was so impressed by her love for this young man that he pardoned him. Because of love, we do extraordinary things for others. But the reality is that that's only a glimpse, a small glimpse of the kind of love that God has for me and you. God sent His Son into this dangerous territory, the territory of the enemy. He sent His Son to be treated cruelly. He stood by and watched His innocent Son be nailed to the cross in agony, and He allowed His Son to carry the sin of all humanity. And I've been a believer for a long time, guys, and I would be lying to you to tell you that I really fully understand it and appreciate it. Because it's big. I don't think we can fully appreciate what it means for a father to give up his son and to let him die at the hands of people. God sent His Son into this world for this very purpose. Because sin has separated us from Him. Someone had to deal with it. Someone had to restore our fellowship with God. And that is what Good Friday is all about. It's all about. Jesus died on the cross. And I pray that you guys live with this truth. He died on the cross to destroy the power of sin, the sin that condemns us. In 1 Corinthians 15:57, this is what we read. But thank God He gives us victory over sin and death through our Lord Jesus Christ. You see, what we don't realize sometimes, and I try to explain this to my kids, is that we were slaves to sin. There was a time in our lives, if you haven't come to know Jesus yet, you still are. But there was a time in our lives where we were slaves to sin. We were bound to it. We went to it. We couldn't avoid it. But we have been set free. We have been given victory over sin and over death in our lives. And that is what Good Friday is all about. The cross represents victory. The cross represents reconciliation. That is what Jesus meant when He said, "It is finished." It is done. Nothing more needs to be added.